If you're planning to study in abroad and you're looking for a new country, this video is exactly for you. Yes, we have a new offer known as New Zealand coming up right up, landing in your feet. Yes, recently New Zealand has come up with this whole program where they are making a visa-free employment state for Indians out there. Yes, if you're an Indian and you're looking for new job opportunities, New Zealand is waiting for you. But you must be thinking, how is it happening and how come New Zealand is such a big country coming up with all these things right now? Well, let's discuss what is actually happening between India and New Zealand and how is this whole deal creating an animosity between New Zealand government and their own foreign minister. Yes, New Zealand's foreign minister has come up with this whole thing that if this particular trade between India and New Zealand will be commenced or will be happening, there will be a big problem from New Zealand out there. Not just that, he also claimed that he's going to destroy New Zealand like anything. And right now, India is on the supreme king position. He has also mentioned that India will be benefited out of it, but not New Zealand. How is PM Narendra Modi cracking all of it? How is the external ministry out here working for all these deals where India is on the benefit side, but on the other hand, the other countries are not really on the benefit area? And these are not some countries, which are developing or small or, death ridden or something like that. These are big European countries, and fooling them, or should I say, coming up with such programs very intellectually is such a big deal. Let's talk about this one particular deal which has actually tilted India's whole future, which is coming up with New Zealand right now. So let's break it down into different points. Before moving forward, hello everyone, this is Shivichitra Anshi and you are watching Global Shark right now. So basically, India and New Zealand has this whole deal which is known as free trade agreement. Okay, so according to this deal, India and New Zealand would not share such duties. So basically, India can export as many number of products they want to export out there in New Zealand, and most of it will be duty free, or even if the duty is charged, then the amount would be deductible to 95%. Or India has this whole access to choose that you can only put up these many number of duty charges on us, and if not, then there's a free trade deal. Now you must be thinking, what is the benefit for India? Well, India is trading around garments, pharmaceutical stuff out there, then so many seafoods and many things which is so much famous, IT sectors, IT parts, and so many things out there to New Zealand. And New Zealand would be having this whole bigger market opening wide up for India. Yes, India will be in a benefited cost. Now, on the other hand, New Zealand is also coming to India with a lot of new products. But over here, India has sticked up with one certain thing. So basically, New Zealand is one of the largest exporters in the world. And biggest exporting thing which New Zealand has is the dairy product. It has 30% of the entire exporting market. But India's agriculture and dairy has been a sensitive and a very political issue. India has never opened up these things for anybody, be it US, be it UK. So basically, US President Donald Trump was also upset about this one thing, that why aren't India opening their dairy and agriculture sector? They are feeling like US have been, opening their market where Indians are coming and selling off their products, but US have been not getting the same access to the market. But PM Narendra Modi was very much rigid on this part and would never let a private company of a foreign place come and, put up our farmers or our small labor class people in such a wreck where they have no options and get into a trap of these private hoods. So basically, the same happened with New Zealand also. New Zealand came up with this whole thing that please open your dairy products market. We want to manufacture and we want to sell and export our products here. But India said no. India said that you have little access to our daily market, but not as much as you wanted. I mean, there's an access of like what, 5 to 7% in the whole daily production, because India was very specific on this fact that if you come here, then the farmer and the ecosystem out here will be devastated like anything. Many of the farmers out there are still not educated. They are still not very much equipped with all the foreign policies and all the foreign technologies which these countries would bring into the market. and this will not help them in growing, but it would rather create a pressure and a digital gap between both of the places, and then at the end these poor farmers will be at a loss, and that is why India declined this whole fact. Now, products which India would also have a greater deals with. So basically, India is going to export woods, then wine, then so many other things which are expensive, rare, and all of it. And not just that, India and New Zealand had this whole deal of around what, 5 to 8 billion dollars in around initial years. But right now in 2025, in December, they have been dealing around $20 billion. So basically, New Zealand is going to invest $20 billion in India right now. This is a great news for India. But out there, this is a problem for New Zealand also, because the party out there, the New Zealand First Party, has been creating an issue out there. They have been saying that this whole deal is going to devastate, as I've mentioned, New Zealand's economy like anything. Now, the points which they have been mentioning is that if Indians would be given free visa, Indians are known for their intelligence. In the whole world, if you see that there are the richest people, out of five, two would be Indian Americans. So basically, Indian origin people are often, said to be, they're adaptive. They have they are competitive in nature, they're educated, they're civilized and all of it. So because of that, New Zealand is right now in a danger like situation, because Indian are so versatile and they can fit in basically to labor class, to the CEO's job position. They're like, if Indian comes to New Zealand, then there would be a market crisis out there in New Zealand. They wouldn't be, the local people of New Zealand wouldn't be able to secure the job, because these Indian would be there coming up and taking all the jobs. So basically, New Zealand is in the fear. But right now, New Zealand government is not thinking about all of it. In fact, they have been very happy about the deal. And PM Narendra Modi has cracked the deal in a very intelligent manner. So basically, India is not just moving towards trade deals and, with in a place where they are reducing the gap between these countries and the trade. But India is moving towards a master plan where you see that such free trade agreements kind of a thing is existing with India, and not just, small countries are putting up their efforts in India and investment. You see countries like New Zealand, then Oman, then different countries are putting up their efforts and their investment in India right now. So basically, India has been phenomenally doing well in geopolitics. First, Narendra Modi's 3 visits to Georgia, Ethiopia, and Oman have been successful. Over there, they came up with so many new deals, and with Oman, they also had this reducing the duty-free trade deal also. Now, coming to another meeting with New Zealand has been very nice for India and fruitful for India. So basically, India is going towards a new successful career and a new successful geopolitical trade deals and all of it. Let's see what is next to come up for India. This was the news today. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. So basically, this was all for today. If you like such videos, please do comment, like, share, and subscribe Global Shark. Thank you so much for watching us. This was Shivachitranshi signing off.